listening to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Good evening and welcome to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
That's not bad.
It's the only one that brings the Firehouse kitchen table to you.
What are we on, PBS or something?
Mm-hmm. Welcome back, Leatherhead Nation. Welcome back to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast, baby. It's where it all happens. All the fire shit happens from the kitchen table right here. Tonight we got a little Glenlivet. What do you got, Roof?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. Maybe you don't want to talk about it. Oh, wow. And we got an educated Tank over there with glasses, bro.
Come on.
Look at that. Look at him.
Come on.
He's a smart guy. Yeah, this is the one, bro. This is the one and only. There's a lot out there that say it's the only kitchen table. You know, we know what we say about that, bro.
What'd you hit? Did you hit any boxes?
I didn't hit any boxes, bro. I was telling you the story about in the gym. The guy asked me if I wanted to get a box. I was like, yeah, I'll get a box, man. It's a big army. It's a big dude. So I give him $100. And like last week, a couple of days before the Super Bowl, he goes, hey, bro, you owe me for the box. I'm like, no, I paid you. He goes, hey, you gave me $100. It was a $500 box. I was like, $500 box.
So you didn't really check anything, huh? You didn't do much.
I didn't want to see like a cheap mother, you know.
Thank God I'm in charge of the cash.
I'll be back in a little while.
There.
I'll be back.
Thank God I'm in charge of making the checks out. You know what I mean, Tank?
Yeah, right.
Christ.
Yeah. So I got a good gym story. I wanted to tell you this last week. I totally forgot about it. But we had on the Chief when we were doing it back in the day. I was like, I don't think he'll ever come on the show again if I tell the story. So I'm in the gym, and before that I was on YouTube looking at new shoulder exercises. So there's one that you lean in on an incline and you do front raises, right? And I'm like, wow, this feels a little awkward, but I'll try it, you know. So I get on there, and I do one set, and I'm leaning back, and all of a sudden I go, and there happens to be like 4 girls behind me, right? So what do? This is a quick thing, but it's so old that like they knew. So I start doing like a beatbox, like I'm like, they ain't buying that, bro. Who does the beatbox anymore?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Coobs ends up in a TikTok.
Yeah. It was like, so I just pushed her on. They're behind me. I'm like, nah, it didn't work. So, anywho, we got a new segment on here tonight. Every time that we got my man Tank and Miss Prime in there as the producer, we're going to do it's the great Hillbilly Minute, bro. I can't find a goddamn dueling banjos, or else I would have started. So, we're going to start out every Tank and Miss show with a hillbilly joke. So, you ready, Ruff? What does a hillbilly girl say during sex?
Yeehaw.
Get off me, Daddy. You're crushing my cigarettes.
Did you make that up? Like, you never heard that before. You made that up?
You want another one? Let me.
No.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Get to. Come on.
Shot one here. Another one? Come on. Let's do it. So, why are hillbilly murders so hard to solve? Because they all share the same DNA. Boom!
You got that off the internet, that one. You got that one off the internet.
And that's the new segment. I got to get some music behind it every time Tank is on, bro. Because I'd start out in the pre-show. I said, what do you call a hillbilly with glasses over there, bro? He looks so educated, man.
Hey, you know.
He's got the glasses on. He looks like a student.
It looks like something.
I am. That's what I'm here for. I'm just here listening and learning. Come on.
Listen to a guy who farts and then beatboxes. What are you learning from that, bro? That's zero learning from that.
You can learn something from anything and anybody. Sometimes
don't do the human beatbox, 30 years after it's out. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So, all right. So, anywho, what's going on over there, Roof? Anything?
Nothing. Chilling. It's been beautiful. The weather.
Rangers got a new guy, huh?
Tarasenko, yeah, they got 2 new guys.
Did he score a goal the other night in his first game?
First shit for his
I was
first
watching.
shift.
I'm like, I think his first shit. This guy just scored a fucking goal. I'm like, I don't know if I should call Roofy and I'm wrong and be like, you're an idiot. I'm like,
I was surprised your brother didn't text me. Tom usually texts me something.
I was like, that looks like the new guy. Just scored a goal. Look at that. He's all happy. He's got his Rangers shirt on. Beautiful thing. Yep. All right, Tank, let's do our commercials. Let's get them out of the way before we get our guests in here. We got a DC guy in here. They're hard charging too, bro. They're protecting the capital.
We're going to hit you with the OG original. You know what it is. Gettin saltyapparel.com.
Our favorite one.
If you're looking for a gift for that special firefighter in your life, then head on over to GettinSaltyApparel.com. Yes, GettinSaltyApparel.com. What do we have? Well, we carry hand-drawn original t-shirts, glassware such as mugs, shot glasses, pint glasses, engraved Arctic cooler cups, and much, much more. There's also a full line of firefighter tool bottle openers like Halligans, nozzles, and wine bottle opener accessories too. And if you're a cigar smoker, congratulations! We have partner sauce cigar cutters and humidors. Think we're done? Far from it. We got toiletry, gear bags, koozies, a full line of hats, decals, sweatshirts, and once again, so much more. We can also personalize most of these products, and if you want discounts, hey, you've come to the right place. We got discounts on large orders for promotion dinners, weddings, as well as installation dinners. Just head on over to GettinSaltyApparel.com.
I do actually have one more shout out. My man Jeff Ray in the 14th Division, his wife is suffering from Alzheimer's. So if you go over to, I believe it's Channel 2 News on their website or Channel 12 too, they do a little spot on Alzheimer's Lives Matter. It says Dick Hill's man hopes to raise awareness for disease after his wife's diagnosis. So it is a very tough thing to live with. I know my brother Chief Steve did, his father-in-law had it, and so go on and check that out on Channel 2's website, and also I believe Channel 12, and try to give some support to those family members who are dealing with their significant others having Alzheimer's. So go ahead. I don't want to forget that. I'm sorry to cut you off, Tanky.
No, that's a very serious thing. It's no joke. I understand it too.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
We'll put the link in it. I'll have Ruffy put the link in the description too if you want to go check it out.
Perfect. Also, fam, if you're watching us live action here with us tonight, first of all, thank you for being here. We're glad you're here. Don't be afraid to hit us up in the super chat. Don't be shy. Do it to it. That's how we continue to bring y'all the finest things to the Firehouse kitchen table. I say finest, but it's the finest and the coobiest things that we can bring you to the Firehouse kitchen table. That's that super chat live action while you're here with us. And now a message from our friends over at New Jersey Fire Equipment. Ready?
Yeah. Do it.
Let's go.
Established in 1930 and under the current ownership since 1987, the New Jersey Fire Equipment Company handles a complete line of fire department equipment and supplies. Headquartered in Greenbrook, the company operates full 3M Scott service facilities in Ridgefield Park and Toms River, staffed by 10 fully authorized Scott certified technicians with a fleet of 6 fully equipped service vans. All New Jersey fire technicians and sales representatives are active or retired firefighters, officers or chief officers, career and volunteer. They understand the business and the importance of their work. New Jersey Fire has represented Scott since Earl Scott entered the SCBA business at the end of World War II. Among other leading manufacturers represented by New Jersey Fire are Globe and Firedex Turnout Gear, Mercedes Hose, Task Force Tips and Akron Brass, Hygenol, Firehooks, Arctic Compressors, MSA Carnes Helmets, ChemGuard Foam, Alkalite and Duo Safety Ladders, BA Face Shield Protectors, Truckman's Choice Saws, Grove's Gear Racks and Washer Dryers, Supervac Fans, RPI, Streamlight, and many others. A New Jersey incorporated and based company, sales and service are limited to the state of New Jersey. Find us now at www.njfe.com. That's www.njfe.com.
Well done. Well done. All right, we got a hard charger. 34 years in the D.C. Fire Department, bro. A couple of busy engines, trucks, and the rescue, of course. And he sent a lot of good pics over. If you guys like seeing some fuego, this is the man. Ruffy, you bring him in because I got to tend to the board here as we bring him in.
You ready?
Yeah, do it.
All right. Lieutenant Greg Turnell.
Oh, there he is. What's up, boss?
Howdy.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good.
Retired after 34 years on the J.O. Bizzle, right? How long are you retired now? You're out coming up on 3 years? Yeah. It'll be 3 years in May. How's it feel?
Good. I still miss the job, miss the guys. Like I'm sure
Justin,
you guys
right?
can relate to that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
There's
cool.
no
What's going on in the
substitute for
background there?
What's that?
My background?
His background.
I was going to bring that up. I don't know if he's in his grandson's house or his son's kid. The kid's got some fire department curtains. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he could be talking at one of those Firehouse beds, the fire truck beds. I don't know. Where you at there, boss? You got those nifty curtains in the back.
We live in a rural area, so our internet's not very good. So I've got a friend of mine. He's used to work in D.C., retired, and he's the fire chief at Gettin Volunteer Firehouse here on the Eastern Shore. So
pretty cool.
He invited me to come over. I'm in their sitting room right now, and that explains these curtains back there.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. Oh, well, then maybe somebody can explain Louis' curtains back there because he's home. I don't know what the hell is going on back there.
I might get those curtains. I don't know. I got to talk to my wife.
That might be an upgrade on your curtains.
Yeah,
bro,
you ain't
know
kidding.
What I mean?
No, you don't. You don't have to explain to me, Lucy.
Looks like Abe Lincoln should be sitting there, bro, back in the 1860s.
Ginzo. That's the Ginzo in it, man.
That's the Ginzo?
Come on. Tassels? I got tassels behind me.
Yeah. You know what, dude? I think you should turn it around so everybody should see the taxidermy part of it, man. And,
oh,
my
goodness.
It looks like who did it and ran in there, bro? A whole bunch of heads, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of heads in here.
All right. So you're out of how far away from your house are you?
About 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So how rural are you out there? You have like running water and electric, or what do you got to go an outhouse? What do you got out there? Is it
we got running water, just poor internet service, that's all.
So you got one of these. Hold on.
Look at Coop sitting.
I'm on it now, baby. Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right. So before Susie gets her panties in a wad, why don't we do the pledge? Because this is a pro all-American show where we love our country, we love our nation, we even love hillbillies. Give it.
Let's do it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rev, for throwing the shekels our way. It is very touching. Yep. Is this one of your guys, Stanley Jaworski?
One of my guys?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever worked with him, no.
Next episode, Slavic and Duke. All right. See, we're multicultural. We got some Polish people in here too, right, Ruff?
Will you get to start the questioning, please? Killing me.
You know why Stanley brought a car door to the desert?
Oh, boy.
Because if it got hot, he could roll down the window.
God.
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
No, you're not.
All right, give us the word of the day. For those people, I'm already 2 or 3 in here, so give us the word of the day.
The word of the day is the Turk.
The Turk.
Man.
Why the Turk?
Real, ladies and gentlemen, you hear the word of the day, you take a drink.
Oh, you take a little sip. So where'd the Turk come from?
Turk is an acronym for Turnell Universal Rescue Cart. When I was at 13 truck, we ran a lot of RIT calls, and we had to run that cart up and down the street, the Stokes basket with the irons and the saws and stuff for RIT. And one day, it was snow on the ground, and 4 of us were taking it up the street, or 4 of my guys were. One of them slipped in the snow, blew his knee out, and there had to be, a better way of doing this. So I started, putting some ideas together. I like to kayak, and I did a lot of shark fishing in Assateague on the Eastern Shore, and I saw some guys running their kayaks up.
I have the wheels for my kayak too. Yeah,
right. With the 2 wheels out. It was out of like PVC pipe. So I figured some alterations kind of mimic that, that technology, and that's what I did. So I built a device out of aluminum with 2 tires. The Stokes basket slides in it. There's no straps or anything. It just binds in place. And
I knew you were gonna like that, Coombs.
I love it, man. I like a guy who invents stuff. I'm a tinkerer too. I love that, man.
Now,
and did your company just use it, or did they go a job wide over there?
No, it's all over. Mine Rescue uses it. We've sold to Portugal, Japan. We're a small company. I mean, I say these places, but the company stays in the black. You know, I don't make any money. I didn't do it to make money. I did it because I identified a capability gap on how we do things
Right.
and wanted to fill the gap. It's got its application some places it doesn't. Some guys don't like it. You know, even some DC guys, they changed the
Imagine
name.
that.
They changed the name to Device. So the acronym changed from Turk to Turd. Turnell Universal Rescue. Turk or the Turd.
Nice.
The brothers.
Wow. Yeah,
Come
love
on.
it. See, you're the total opposite of me and Louie. We're doing all this just for the money. We don't care about anything else. We're just in it for the money.
But it's been great. DC
Wow, why you
uses
should
all
have
their
sent us
truck
some
companies.
pictures of that, Lou.
Right.
That would have been great.
Okay, look, I was actually going to do that, but I just saw it because when I was looking for the word of the day, so he didn't have it. The boss didn't have any idea I was going to pick the Turk. So
Wow.
I've actually
see.
been to the Rock demoing it.
Really? Let's see if
Yeah.
how astute our producer is. See if he can pull up a picture.
if
of
you
the
look
Turk.
up the Turk with the boss's name,
I thought it was going to be
it'll
something
pop
about
up.
that movie in the 80s. Remember that movie in the 80s?
Turk 182.
Turk 182, Zimmerman knew, and something blue. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Turk 182. Look at
Nice.
that. Yeah, let me know when you get that the tank, whatever your
Yeah,
name is. Yeah,
I'm
that
working
guy.
on it.
All right. All right, so let's jump into his career then, Ruff. Let's do it. Where you from originally? What brought you to the fire service? Because you started at a really young age. In high school, you were doing shit. So give us the
Right.
lowdown from I guess from
Anybody in your
79.
family?
Yeah, from 79 until you took the test. Give us that.
Well, I grew up in Montgomery County, which is a suburb county outside of DC. Rural county, the part of the county where I grew up was pretty rural then. And went to Laytonsville Elementary School. I had two other friends in there. And the firehouse was right across the street, Laytonsville Firehouse. So every time the whistle blew, if we were in recess, we'd run to the fence, and all three of us would sit there and wait for the fire trucks to come out. And that even happened inside. We'd get up from our desk and look out the window and watch the fire trucks. But all three of us grew up to be firemen. Clarence and Dale, they stayed in Montgomery County, and I went on to DC.
Wow. So when you were a kid, so it could possibly be that those are the curtains from your room when you were in like the elementary school, and you brought them to the Volley House. Is that a possibility?
I would have loved them.
Anybody in your family was in the volunteers or any of that stuff?
No,
Nobody, huh?
Wow, you got bit by the
once.
bug just because it was across the street from your school, huh? It's in the blood. It's in the genes somewhere.
My dad was in the Navy. He said he did a lot of ship fires in the Navy during Korea, but that was the closest thing.
Yeah, me and Ruffy did a couple of those. Only drilled on them, right, Ruff?
Yeah,
I'm
screw
out.
that shit.
Yeah, I'm out on those things. Forget it. Yeah.
No bueno.
No,
Fuego, no bueno.
No bueno. So you did some kind of program in school, right? In your senior year, you would attend school to 11 a.m. and then report to the firehouse. Tell us that.
Yeah, that was the high school career jobs program, where you'd come in to school about 11 o'clock, and then from there, I either went to the training school to take classes, or I went to Laytonsville Firehouse. That's where I did my time as a cadet. And it was nice because we worked with career guys. They had career guys during the day by the time I was doing that. So I got to work with career guys and, had some good mentors and learned about the job. And, I loved sports in high school, but doing that, I didn't play baseball or football.
Did they let you take in runs with them while you were there? Or?
Yeah, that was another reason why I joined Laytonsville as a volunteer was you could ride there at 16.
Wow.
Most of the other surrounding firehouses or jurisdictions, you had to be 18. So I got to ride with all the friends I went to school with. So in elementary school.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So you got a whole bunch of your friends to join the volleys with you?
Yeah.
Did you see any work back then? Was it that
mostly barn fires?
A lot of bonfires.
Yeah.
Shed fires.
Yeah. But we'd go to house fires. Generally, if it was a fire, came out as a fire, it was a fire when we got there.
Right. Saved a lot of cattle.
Actually, they had a run once. I wasn't on it, but a cow actually fell in the well. and they had to rig up a system to get it out.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I did run. This is something I've never heard, but 2 combines ran head on in the road, and I've never heard of that happening.
Wow.
It did in, what do you call it, right, Ruff?
At full
Didn't it do it
speed.
in, didn't do it at Footloose? Weren't they playing chicken in the combine? Just you remember that? And his shoelace
No.
got caught on the. Come on,
I
bro.
don't remember that. I don't
Susie
think I ever
was-
seen Footloose.
What? Susie was all over Zimmerman New and Tyler New and Zimmerman Flew. Susie's here with me tonight. She's here, Susie. I love it. All right, so you volunteered at Laytonsville, right? We thought that in Montgomery County. That's the one where you were able to ride at 16,
Right.
and then you worked casual labor for Kensington Fire Department. What is that? Casual labor doing what?
Well, I was working as a fireman. Back then, this was probably from the Carter administration. That's when they implemented that 27% minority quota. The firehouses had to catch up because they didn't have minority or women. So they were hiring minorities and women. And I had the classes, from high school. So I was ready to get hired, but they couldn't hire me because I didn't fit the mold. So what they would do, they would hire you as casual labor. You'd work while that minority was going to training school. And when they were done their training, they'd come get assigned to the company, and then they'd kick you to the curb, and then it would start all over again. You might be out of work for a couple of weeks, kind of like scab labor.
But you were
But
getting paid.
That place does.
Oh yeah,
They do a lot of work there, right?
Kensington, they went to some fires, so that was nice because we were that much closer to DC. More of a populated area.
Had you
It was
already
like- it was-
taken the test for DC at that time?
I took the test
84.
for DC in '84.
Yeah. So it's more like shape work, right? You shape up. You do work when.
Right.
So it's like casual labor. So you take the test in '84. Let's see. So wow, it was pretty quick. If you took it in '84 and you got accepted the job offer in '85, that was pretty quick. Huh? How many guys take that test? A lot of guys take it, or back then, or
Yeah, it was actually, there was a picture. I don't know if I sent it to you guys, but it was the front page of the Metro section, and it was 2,000 guys that morning showed up. And I think they only had like 70 or 80 positions to
wow.
fill.
Do we have that picture, Tank?
No, sir.
Well, all right.
What we do have is this.
Holy good God.
Yeah.
Top row, second from the left with that beautiful mustache.
What
is
is
our man
that?
here.
70s porn star mustache there, bro. Look at that.
And they got a girl there. In the
Oh, you got a girl in there too.
Was she? That was for the fire department. She was in the fire department.
Yeah, she didn't she didn't last long in the company. I think she transferred to fire prevention shortly after getting assignment.
All right. Any of those guys you work with your whole career from your class?
Mhm. Yeah.
Which guys in there? Go back to that, Tanky.
Bobby Mulligan is right in front of me on the first row.
Right.
He and I kind of became buds because his dad was a deputy chief on the job.
That don't hurt.
Yeah, and well, that's kind of funny because he told me, he says, my dad's a deputy chief. Tell me where you want to go, and I'll see to it to make it happen. I didn't know the companies in DC. I just said I want to go to a busy engine company, and he said that's fine. We'll make it work. So we went through training school, and then we got our assignment. Actually, we got our assignment alongside the Interstate 295. One afternoon, they had a tanker roll over and had a fuel fire, and they had a bunch of that AFFF at the training school. So that class of rookies just loaded up some utility trucks and brought all the foam to the scene. And we got our assignments right there on the side of the road afterwards. The instructors lined us up and handed us our assignments, and I got my assignment. It was 23 engine, so I was kind of excited, but I thought it was a busy engine company because Bobby said, his dad was going to get me to a busy engine company. And,
Not so much.
not so much. I asked the instructor, I said, "Where's 23 engine?" And he said, "That's downtown. You guys run a lot of alarm bells."
Oh,
Oof.
And
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that one.
And then Bobby,
Wrong type of busy.
he didn't get a very good assignment either. And I looked at Bobby. I says, your dad must hate you.
Friends like you, I don't
or
need
they
enemy.
or they hate your dad, one or the other.
Yeah, right.
But there was more to it than that. His father was looking out for us because he put us with some good officers, and I think that's what his motivation was. And I was lucky to get the officer I did.
Yeah. Oh, and who was that?
That was at the time Lieutenant Joe Goldsmith.
Now you guys don't have captains, right?
Well, we have captains, yeah.
Oh, you do.
We have sergeants, lieutenants, and captains.
Oh, sorry. We'll get into that. I just want to know a little bit about the DC Fire Department. How big is the department? How many members?
Oh man, I don't know how many members now.
Or roughly, when
I would say probably now close to maybe 3,000, 2,500, something like
Right.
that. I mean, we're 69 square miles, 33 engine companies, 16 truck companies, 3 rescue squads. So we're probably the size of one of your boroughs.
Right. That's what I was going to say. How many guys ride on the engine? How many guys ride in the truck company?
Right now we have 4 on the engine, 5
Right.
on the trucks, and 5 on the rescue squads.
All right, that's decent manpower, right? Because we hear sometimes when the guys got 2, 3, right? But
we used to have a 2-piece engine company, which was nice.
What is that? A 2-piece engine company?
You had the wagon and then the pumper. The pumper followed with just the pumper man. So we operated 2 pieces.
Oh, I think we have heard that too, right, Ruffy? Didn't Philly have that or something? Maybe Philly.
Yeah, I think Philly had it. Which was, the engine would lay out, and then the pumper would stay at the pumper, and pump the wagon, which was nice because back in the day we had Plan E, Plan F, and Plan F was the total mobilization of the fire department. So all we had to do was split the company and then bring in the other shift, and you've doubled the size of your fire department.
Wow.
Who's first due to the White House?
16 engine.
What's their logo?
First due to the White House.
Midnight Express.
What is it?
The Midnight Express.
Midnight Express.
Midnight Express.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. You said 3 rescue companies, right?
Yep.
What else did I want to know about?
That's a lot of rescue companies.
Yeah, that is 3 rescue companies. With only 30-something.
We call them rescue squads.
Rescue squads.
But they're equivalent to your rescue company.
Right. So you said it wasn't a busy place, but how long were you there before you caught your first job?
And
was it any good?
It was first job. We weren't first due. It was on Pennsylvania Avenue. I remember that. And it was a vacant building. And actually we were first due because I was running the line and I was excited about getting this fire. It was smoke coming out of the second floor. I said, this is a walk in the park. We got this. And my lieutenant led me in, and I tried to find the stairs. There's a big storefront, first floor, and then apartments above, kind of like a taxpayer. Got inside, and there's no stairs. It was under renovation, and they'd taken out the stairwell completely. So we had no access to get up. By the time we come out, another company threw a ladder. They got the fire.
Oh, some of the bitches.
That was a heartbreak for me.
But you know what? I was going to say your first fire, but you had been in the volleys. You had been in that other paid department, so it really wasn't your first fire. It wasn't, because a lot of probies, when they catch their first fire, legitimately, it's their first friggin' fire, right?
Well, let me back up a little bit. My first call at 23 engine, I was almost killed. And if it wasn't for Joe Goldsmith, he saved my life twice in my career. Not many people know this.
All right.
But we ran an accident on Whitehurst Freeway, which runs alongside the Kennedy Center. It's a very, it's people do 50 miles an hour or plus. So here I'm a young country bumpkin, I jump off the wagon, go over to the vehicle that's involved in an accident, and I stepped out in front of oncoming traffic. And the next thing I know, my lieutenant grabbed me by the coat and threw me the side of the road and, hollered at me. So what are you trying to do? Kill yourself on the first day?
Yeah.
So
Could
That
have
was
you
my
could have wound
first
up
one.
like Johnny Walters, for crying out loud.
Yeah. And it was a taxi cab that almost hit me.
Oh,
Holy
of course it
shit.
is.
Come
Of course it is.
on.
Come on.
Come on. Oh
So-
man, I see. I was gonna do the Johnny Walters taxi cab, but I can't find it now.
You can't find it.
I'm not that good. I'm not
No.
that good. All right, so you don't spend that much time there. I guess early on you realize I got to get the hell out of here if I want to see some fire, right?
Yeah.
And you go to 33, which is like now, where is that in
33 is in Southeast. That was a new station that was being constructed in lower Southeast, because when I was a rookie at 23, I used to sit up at night on watch and I would listen to 25 engine in Southeast go to fires all night long. And there was nobody south of them. So there was no pressure on them. They just went to fires.
right?
Well, they were building 33 south of them to cover some of that load that, that they were running. And so I said, you know what, when 33 opens up, I want to go to 33. Well, my lieutenant ended up getting transferred to 33, but his
nice.
reasoning was his knees were getting bad. He didn't want to, climb the stairs anymore in the high rises. So he went to Southeast and I basically followed him there.
Did you ask him, or he said, "Greg, come with me, kid"?
It
A
kind
little
of,
bit of both.
yeah. He
Well,
said,
that's
"You
pretty
know what,
good to have your
this is
boss,
Yeah.
already there. And that's a brand. So you were a charter member there. That was a brand new company.
brand new."
Wow.
Isn't that by themselves?
We were at first, and then Truck 8 that was housed at 25 engine came down the hill and they put them there because it was a bigger firehouse. And that pissed a lot of people off because, you've been in a house for, over 100 years, it's breaking that tradition. You don't want to leave there.
Yeah.
So they left the other engine there as a single engine, and they came over with 33 now.
Yeah, Truck 8 came to 33.
Eight
So it
and
was 33
33.
Truck 8.
How
Left
was it
25 by himself.
How was it when they came over? Was it good to have the truck in there, or you guys like being by yourself? Some guys like single engines,
It was nice having a truck down there. I mean, I worked with some good guys, and it was good to learn the truck. Slide over and work on the truck. It was a good time.
I was going to ask you. Go ahead, Ruff.
So you took work from 25 then?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that had to hurt too. You're taking it. Listen, we're going to take your work and your truck. How do you like that?
Swing it and miss. He struck him out.
Pounce in.
There's a little bit of rivalry there, but
yeah. What I guess it takes a while. We would know, right, Ruff, to gel with the guys, right?
Yeah.
A new company, get to trust each other, know each other. So guys come from all over the city. From DC came and went to the to 33.
Yeah, they opened up the technician spots. You guys call them chauffeurs, but you have to compete for technician spots in DC. You have to compete, take a test, pass the test, written test of the area. You have to know your area. We don't carry map books or
Really?
anything like that. These guys know where they're going. And so they opened it up to the department. I think it started with the 3rd Battalion, which was, where 33 was. But guys all over the department ended up coming there to compete for the wagon driver and, positions and the pumper man, because we still had a pumper there.
Who were some of the guys there that you remember that what stuck out to you, like that you gravitated to?
Well, there was Joe Goldsmith was my lieutenant.
I saved your life twice.
Yeah. The second time was that 33 engine.
Oh, you owed us. I hope you bought him dinner or something at least.
Yeah. But I had a pumper man, Owen Turner. He was a character. He was a Marine, Vietnam veteran, smart guy. Guys on the truck, Captain Funk, he was a good mentor also. Steve Hill, another good guy. Danny White, Billy Stommel, just good guys. Learned a lot.
What was their what do you call it, logo? The 33 and 8 then.
When I was there, I don't think we had a logo.
What?
We'll seal all your fires. That's what that's what their logo was.
You can act like a man. We'll take your truck too. That
Nothing
dude,
personal.
I would
Strictly-
love that. That had to be great. Not only are you taking their fires away, we're taking your truck away. And there ain't
nothing
nothing you
personal.
can do
Strictly
about it.
business. That's what they
Strictly
should have been.
business. Yeah. Don't cry over spilt milk. It's great.
So how long did you stay there for, Greg? How long?
I got it. Hold on a minute.
Oh.
He was there. Oh, wait a minute. Rough. Oh,
Uh-huh.
wait. He was there from let's see, 86 to 87, and then I don't know, knock came on the door. Hey, it's Rescue Squad 1. Hey, Greg, we heard about you. Why don't you come on over?
Really?
Yeah, I'm not lying.
So hold
Yeah,
on. He did one. How much time did he do in
A year.
first year in the first engine?
So let me just sit this
One
right.
year I
86
did my probation at 23 engine.
Yeah, 1
And
year.
then
So-
went-
33.
2 years, and
That's
it was
what I'm
like
getting
this. Hey, Joe, it's Rescue. Johnny, Greg, it's Rescue Squad 1. Why don't you come on over? We heard about you. We heard you like to steal guys' trucks.
Who'd you know over there? How'd that happen?
Well, it's a funny story.
I'm sure it is.
I really wanted to go to 6 engine. And that was the transition when we were losing the pumpers. So that extra pumper man was moving up to the wagon. So they didn't have any vacancies. But the captain at 6 engine said, there's a vacancy at Rescue Squad 1. If you want to go to Rescue Squad 1, we can slide you across the floor over to 6 engine when the spot comes available. But when I got to Squad 1, I loved it. And, it was just a different way of another side of the fire department I wasn't familiar with. And it was
So
really
give us some of the tasks that those rescue squads that I assume they act as a truck, right? They pull up as a truck, or how do they operate? Your rescue.
Well, the rescue squad was rescue. Let me tell you, in 1991, the rescue squads are nothing like they are today. I mean, as far as the technical knowledge, the tools, the equipment. I mean, we figured everything out back then with like 3/4 inch manila rope, railroad jacks, 2-cycle Hearst tool,
Bubble
hand
gum.
tools. It was pretty
Bubblegum,
simple.
spit, and tape. Yeah.
And you didn't come to the squad unless you had some kind of background in electrician, plumbing, carpentry.
Right.
You had to bring something, mechanics,
And what was yours?
carpentry and mechanical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? There was a lot of senior guys there because you only had 2 years. I mean,
Actually, there was a pretty young guys there. The guy here on the end, he actually took my spot because I think I was on my way out because I got promoted sergeant.
which guy? Which end?
To the left.
Okay,
Not the guy in the fresh Nike kicks, though.
I see that,
Not
bro.
the black guy. That's Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie Hope. But
Bernie knows how to hang out in comfort. All
Oh
right.
yeah, man.
So Bernie and I got there about the same time. He got there after me. And then the little guy next to him is Mikey Abel. He was a squad wagon driver. One of the smartest guys I ever worked with. Very good. The big guy is Big Bird. We called him Bird, Bill Taylor. He was my lieutenant. Vietnam veteran, Marine. I mean, he was one of those bigger than life guys. I think he was from New Jersey or something because he had a New York accent. Knows a lot of you New York guys. And then, of course, that's me next to him. And then Cool Eddie B is next to me. And Ed just retired this last December. He did
Really?
over 30 years at Squad 1.
Wow.
Wow.
He never left.
Which guy there is named Turk?
Oh, got him.
Oh.
So that's what I was going to ask you, Greg. So you didn't have to have a lot of time to, to get to the rescues in New York. You have to have, 10, 15, 20 years sometimes to get and be in the truck for a long time.
You had to have at least 5 years. You had 5 years and you had to really know somebody. I mean, it wasn't easy getting over there.
All right, so tell us how you really got there then. 2 years and
so when do they go on every fire?
Yeah, squads go on all the fires, metro accidents, accidents with entrapment, anything that your rescues go to, we went to.
You had to see a hell of a lot of fire when you got there. Were you surprised by the amount of fire you went to, or you were like,
Yeah, it was downtown was a little different than southeast. Bigger fires. Because the area that a squad has is a lot larger. We only had 3 rescue squads in the city, so you can imagine if you have 3 rescues and they all have to go on elevators. It's nothing to be,
yeah,
what we call citywide. You'd be all over the place.
wow?
How long
you-
did you go there? How long were you there for?
I wasn't there long before you got promoted.
I was
right?
there a year.
Wow.
And,
A cup of coffee, we would say.
yeah, my lieutenant, Joe Goldsmith told me, he says, you need to take the promotion exam. You may not pass, but go ahead and study for it and take it, so you know what to expect when you really want to take it seriously. So
Who
here
are
I
these guys
was
here?
with 5 years on the job. I took the sergeant's exam and I screwed up, and I think I scored like number 6. And I tell you, I almost didn't take it. When
I
I
could see
found
that.
out, I was actually pretty crushed because I didn't want to leave Squad 1.
Right.
And word got back to my lieutenant, Joe Goldsmith. He's a captain by this point. And he said, I hear you're contemplating not taking this promotion, not accepting it. And I said, Captain, I'm having fun. I'm learning a lot where I'm at. I've got 25 years ahead of me. And he says, you know what, Greg, if you don't take this, it'll be the biggest mistake you made in your life. And secondly, I'll come kick your ass. So I went ahead and accepted the promotion.
Next time I won't save your life either. All right, Greg? How do you like that?
Well,
And that was for sergeant? That's the sergeant?
That's sergeant, right.
And what is that? That's like our lieutenant? Is that what that is? What
No,
is
they
it?
have lieutenant.
Yeah, we have lieutenants. So sergeants are just like fill-ins. You get made sergeant, you get assigned to a battalion. You might be assigned to a company, but you float around that battalion. That's not to say you may end up anywhere. We used to have a saying in the fire department, being a sergeant's not bad because it's hard to hit a moving target. You could screw up on the paperwork at one company, and the next shift,
Who the fuck did this?
They can't find you.
Yeah, the captain's like, who the heck is this guy?
Exactly.
I don't know. He was here and then he's gone. I haven't seen him. So it basically have the same duties as a lieutenant, except you're all over the place.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Do you have to take a test for the lieutenant after that, or you just find a spot? No, you have to take another test.
Yeah, you got to take tests all the way up to captain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So you go to, where's your first stop as a sergeant? 5th Battalion. So you're floating all over there, right?
Yeah.
And then you get a spot in truck 5.
Truck 5. Yep. It's probably the slowest truck in the city.
Oh.
So I wasn't happy.
Gave you a chance to study then. There you go, truck 5.
So in each house, there's a captain. How many lieutenants for each company, and then the sergeants? How does that work out?
Each shift has a captain. So each company each company has a captain. So 6 engine would have 1 captain and 3 lieutenants. We have 4 shifts, so you'd have 1 captain and 3 lieutenants.
And where's the sergeant fit in?
Yeah, that's how do you get assigned as a sergeant?
The sergeants get assigned to trucks and rescues, and they just float. They go wherever. Lieutenant takes off, the sergeant will work.
Oh, so,
really?
But you're assigned to truck 5, but that doesn't mean you're working in truck 5.
Correct.
Oh.
And that was the nice thing about being at a 5th Battalion sergeant. I was all over the place. I worked a lot of 21 engine.
I like bouncing around. It was good.
In the 2nd Battalion that were going to fires, so it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, you meet a lot of guys too that way too. It's good.
Right. And you learn a lot about the job and different people. So it
makes the job smaller because you get to meet everybody, work all those places.
Right.
Did you ever go to a run at the White House?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really? So what's that like?
Well, I've been to a couple boxes. A lot of times you really don't do anything because the Secret Services are all over that.
Oh, sure.
I've been to a good fire at the old executive office building, which is right next to the White House.
Uh-huh.
But that's when I was a 13 truck.
All right, we'll get to that one.
We got
But
a
so you've
question
never
from the
been
chat.
in the what's that?
We got a question from the chat. Speaking of that, we have somebody, Dakota Geimer, is asking, do you need security clearances for companies that respond to certain federal facilities?
Yeah, if you were, I remember when I was at 23 Engine, we had to, they did a security background. If you do any of the inaugurations and this and that, they do security background on everybody. I mean, you already have one, but they do a more scrutinized background check on everybody if you're going to work those details. When I was at 23, we did take a detailed tour of the White House, and before we could, go there, again, we had to give them, our name and social security and all that. It was a week-long process, but that was an informative little tour of the White House. We spent all day.
Oh, was it cool in there? Was it
Top to bottom? Yeah, I mean, there's some things that they told us they didn't want us to talk about, and
I knew you were going to say that. We'll have to get it.
That.
Got to get it out of him, Ruffy.
I will tell you this: it's there's more stories in that White House than you think.
Yeah,
it looks like a 3-story building. It's not a 3-story building.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah. Was the president there when you were there, or no?
No, we actually went to. They took us to his room because there were certain procedures and.
What room? His bedroom?
His bedroom.
Really?
Yeah.
They got a pool in there too, right?
A swimming pool? I didn't see the swimming pool.
We got a pool in a pond.
We got a bowling alley.
I know they have a swimming pool because JFK used to swim in it every day.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Squad 3 Sergeant Sniper, Christopher Smith. What does that mean? You know what that means?
Squad 3 Sergeant Sniper.
No? Yeah. Oh, private joke? All right.
Yeah, I got. He's going to have to go do some more than that because my memory's not as good as it used to, but I do remember the Sergeant Sniper. Yeah.
Oh. All right, thanks, Chris, for throwing up a few bucks. Yeah,
thanks,
appreciate it. That's the way.
So you get assigned to this truck. It's a what is it? Truck 5? You said?
Yeah.
Slow truck. Thank God you're a sergeant. You're bouncing around. You're not really spending much time there, right?
No.
Well, good for you for that.
No, it was. But went to some pretty good fires, in that area. So it had its good moments.
So there was a couple of pictures. You said there was some good fire pictures. Where were those, Tank? Where was the fireman or officer at? Do we have any of those pictures? Are we up to that point?
It just depends on where we're at, I reckon.
Well, we're at he's going
there
to.
There was a picture. Oh, it was a news interview. That was the one big fire I went to when I was a sergeant at Truck 5. I was detailed that day to 21 Engine. It was a
this one.
Yeah, that fire. I was actually ordered by the chief to give this interview. After the fire, I was trying to get my company, together, and we're going to try to leave. And the news camera guy there, the news guy, kept wanting to talk to me, and I was like, "Man, I'm busy. I got work to do." And the chief called me over to the buggy and says, "You need to give this interview, this news reporter." And I said, "Chief, all due respect, I don't want to." And he said, "Well, I'm ordering you to do it." So I had to do it. But this was a fire that came out, I think, as an electrical short. It seems like all the bad fires I've been to, severe fires always came out as, small fires or alarm bells or something like that turned into something a lot worse. And that's what this one was. It was electrical short. I think it was a local. It wasn't even a box alarm assignment. And they got there and they discovered that they had an electrical fire in the basement. It was a toy store. It was an old row house they converted to a toy store. And so they had fire in the basement. They filled the box. We ended up on it, and we were basically staging outside, and this place really got bad. The basement flashed, and it trapped 5 guys inside. So they were abandoning the building, trying to get guys out, and they got them all out except for one guy. They couldn't find him, and he was the lieutenant of Truck 2. And so I was right there. I told my guys, hold up outside. I went inside, and somehow when guys are coming out, I got pushed deeper in the fire. I'm like, well, I'm in here now, try to find this guy. It was crawling around. Fire was coming up through the floor at this point, and I found him. I mean, by the grace of God, I still to this day don't know how I found him, but I found him. And he was buried in the floor up to his waist, and fire was coming up around him. And
holy shit.
I'm sure you guys have heard a man scream before, and it's a scream that that's I'm going to die type of scream. And that's what I was hearing. I never heard a scream like that in my life. And I got to him, and I told him, I said, I got you, we're going to get out of here. And I wanted to try to get some help because he looked like he was in a position I wasn't going to be able to get him out. So I went to the wall, and luckily I found a window, but the window was about that wide. It was enough for me to take my helmet off and stick my hand out. I wanted to try to get somebody's attention. But when I did that, the smoke was pushing out of this place so hard, with so much velocity, that with my hand extended, waving my helmet, nobody saw me. I mean, that's how much smoke was pushing out. So I went back to him. I said, we're getting out of here. And again, by the grace of God, I got underneath his arm, and he was a big guy. And I stood straight up. He pushed up, pulled his leg out. And luckily there was I'll never forget, Stefan Ventura was the aide for the 4th Battalion at the time. And he knew I was in there, and he was hollering at the door. And that was the only way I got out, was I was going to him hollering. And I got him out, and that was the first time a grown man kissed me on the fire ground.
Holy
wow.
Shit, dude, that is legit.
Good for you.
And you weren't even working you were in an engine company.
Yeah, I was working at
Tank, do we have that other picture with him in that? Where he's on the floor? Was that the same fire, or that's a different fire?
No, that's a different. That's the only picture of that fire. But the lieutenant was Lieutenant Kefauver. He came from a long history of. He might have been 5th generation. I know his father.
Wow.
He had guys on the job in the 1800s, but he suffered second degree burns to his legs, his back, and his face, and but he was all right.
So he would have been dead without a doubt.
Oh man, good for you, Greg. Great job, man. Holy shit. Right place at the right time, right? For some reason.
I was, and it like I said, I didn't think we were going to get out. That was
right.
The closest call I think I've had on the job. But
you didn't even have the other guy there to save your life. Look at that. You did it all by yourself. Right.
I was fortunate. Very fortunate. I mean, that's
did I put him out of the job?
No, he came back.
Oh wow.
He came back, and the last time I spoke to him was when I retired. They did, because it was during COVID. My guys did a little video presentation, and he's in South Carolina now, and he did a little videotape and sent it to me. So it meant a lot.
Wow.
Did you get a medal for that?
I did. They gave me the gold medal for that.
Is that the highest medal they have in DC?
Yeah. Well, DC Fire Department their highest medal is a bronze bar. The silver bar and the gold medal, that's like through an act of Congress, they established that. I don't know the date, but that's kind of like separate from the fire department, but it was enacted by Congress back in the day.
Wow. Well deserved, Greg.
So after you saved the guy, they want you to give an interview.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do the
I'm sure I wouldn't.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the same fire with the guy where the chief wanted you to do an interview? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, I know you just been through something. I know you just worked really hard, but I don't feel like getting out of the buggy. I need you to do this for me.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad it worked out.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Holy mackerel. Salute, brother. That's legit right
shit,
there, man.
That is legit. All right, where was I? So
I didn't even know that story.
That was the only fire too in my career that I ever heard where they, at one point, they dispatched all the rescue squads, all three of them on the fire. And I don't think they've ever done that. But because at one point they thought they had 5 guys, trapped.
Better to
Right,
send them,
right.
man. Better to send them, right?
You'd always turn them around.
Yep. All right. So in 93, you transfer to Truck 8, right? It looks like you spent a couple of years there. So is Truck 8 busier or?
Well, Truck 8 I was right back where I was in Southeast.
Oh, right. That's with 33.
33.
That's the new truck. Oh, the old truck that was borrowed from 25.
Right.
So you're back in 33's quarters, right?
Yeah.
But are you still bouncing around? You're still a sergeant, right?
Now I get, I was a sergeant, then got made lieutenant. And that's where I was at.
Oh, so you got made lieutenant and you stayed in Truck 8 then? Because
Right.
it says it backwards here in this thing.
No, I didn't put in to go there. They transferred me there.
Wow. So, but they caught some work, right?
And yeah.
We have any fires to talk about from there? Because tell me another one like this one, bro. I'm like this. Right? Like listen to every word he's saying. Holy shit.
Well, Southeast is a lot of Section 8 houses, a lot of non-conformable, brick, concrete buildings, some row houses. So, but to go back to 33 when I was there with my lieutenant, I wanted to touch on that because I told you saved my life twice.
Right.
But this was the same. This was a 33 inch when I was there. We had a which was apartment building, story apartment building. We had smoke shown when we rolled up. It was on the 6th floor, and I'm sure it's the same in most other cities. When people get evicted, they like putting all their belongings in the elevator and setting the elevators on fire, and then run them up. And that's what somebody did in this particular fire. They put their couch and everything, set it on fire, and the doors opened up on the 6th floor. They warped, so they didn't close. They stayed open. And what I've always told guys, I said, most of your elevator floors are made of wood. So if something burns long enough in there, you're going to burn the floor out. And sure enough, the floor was burned out in it. And I'm running the pipe for 33 inch, and I'm going down the hallway. Zero visibility. My lieutenant's with me, and he goes ahead of me a little bit and trying to find this fire. And he comes back and says, Greg, hold up right where you're at. Do not go any further and do not let anybody come by you. And I said, okay. So I held up and didn't let anybody come behind me. And the smoke started to clear a little bit. And when it cleared enough, I looked forward, and about 6 feet in front of me was what looked like a threshold to an apartment, was a sheer drop down to probably 7 floors to the basement.
Holy shit.
Had he not stopped me, there's no doubt in my mind I would have hit that threshold.
How the hell did he not fall down there?
What's that?
How did he not fall down there?
Well, I guess he was smarter than I was and realized
that
could be an open shaft.
Zero visibility. With zero visibility, he's got to have great instincts. That guy did, huh? He was
quite the mentor for me. In the fire service, you have a lot of mentors, a lot of guys, but you have one true north that you always go to with. It doesn't matter. It could be fire related questions. It could be family. He was my true north on everything. So,
wow,
he was an exceptional guy.
Mine was a guy, his last name was Coward. Legit.
Coward.
That was his last name.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Do you still talk to this guy? Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. I saw him a couple months ago at a fire department function.
He's retired, right? I guess
he's retired.
Wow.
And, good guy.
But
I wanted to get that one in there.
That guy that you saved, he owes his life to you, and then you owe your life to this lieutenant who was a captain, right? Isn't that?
That's the way it works.
That would be like that would be like It's a Wonderful Life, right? If your boss didn't save you, you wouldn't have been there to save that guy.
Right.
right? In a strange way, he saved that guy too, in a weird way, right?
Look at you, Ruffy.
Oh, I go deep,
In-depth
baby. I go
thinking,
deep.
bro. Holy crap. Who is this guy?
No doubt.
That's a great story.
Welcome to the Getting Salty Experience podcast, where now we study philosophy.
Yeah. Confucius
Come
say,
on.
come on.
Come on.
All right. So so what you left where am I?
8 truck.
8 truck to go to 6 engine. You
Well, I
transferred it.
I think I went to 33 for a brief period, and then I went to 6 engine.
Oh, so you went from 8 truck across the floor to 33?
Right.
And then what you didn't put
6
that
is
on?
in that company
You didn't
too?
put that on the paper.
In that Firehouse too?
33, yeah. 33 and truck 8.
8. You
No,
went from 8
where's
to 6,
where's
and then
six?
why did you
6 is across the river downtown. Yeah.
all right, so why'd you transfer to 6?
Well, because 6 was where I always wanted to go, as far as engine company. They did a lot of work. They were right smack dab in the middle of the city. And they had a long, good tradition. And I just wanted to be a part of that house.
So, in other words, you just wanted to follow the smoke, bro.
Right.
Are they still busy today?
No, not like they were
Crazy,
back
right?
in the day, because, urban renewal,
People sipping
dude,
cappuccino over there now, right?
yeah.
Is this
Yeah,
6
that
engine?
was 6 engine. That first guy was my rookie, aka Scotty Too Hottie.
Scotty Too Hottie.
And the guy that gave him that name was the guy next to me, John Windsor. He gave him the name Scotty Too Hottie. A couple of reasons why. When Scott got there, for some reason, we were already doing pretty good as far as going to fires. But when he got there, it was like, wow, we were really going to some fires. And when you get a rookie, the rookie runs the pipe for you. He runs the line, and up to the point where you feel comfortable, you can put him on layout. So Scotty was going to all these fires, and that kind of got JW a little, irked. But so he gave him the nickname Scotty Too Hottie. And then next to John is another good fireman, Greg Tippett. Greg comes from a long history of firemen on the job also. But I tell you,
I think you're going to need a decon wipe on there, I think. Pretty soon.
These guys, I tell you, they were hard chargers and full of a lot of grit, and they were just good firemen. Young, but very, very good, very smart. This was 6 engine also. Greg Tippett, John Windsor, Carteo Bosch, good fireman, and my wagon driver next to me, Randy Lance. And just a real quick note about Randy. He's in a bad way right now. Had a stroke several months ago. And so any prayers people want to give to Randy. Good.
How old is he? He's got to be young.
Randy's probably 60 64, 65.
That sucks.
But he's funny story about Randy. One night we had a fire. It was real cold out, ice everywhere. And nighttime, he was in the wagon staying warm, fires out, and I'm pulling this line out. I slip on the ice. I mean, it's one of them hard falls where my feet go straight up in the air.
Charlie Brown.
I was just saying, did Charlie Brown.
Well, I hit the ground and I bounced back up because I was embarrassed. I was afraid somebody saw me. And I'm looking around and, luckily I didn't see anybody watching me. And I look at the front cab of the wagon behind the wheel, and all I see is this bright set of white teeth. Randy was coal black. He was black. He was dark. And all I saw was these teeth. And I walked over there, and he pulled his window down, and he said, "Lieutenant, I got to tell you something. You hit the ground hard, but you bounced back up."
You worried if anybody saw you? Like, I didn't fucking see. Nobody saw you.
Randy
That's
saw
fucking
me.
awesome. That's great.
Amazing.
Let me ask you a question. So you covered it all. You worked in trucks, you worked in the rescue, you worked in the engines, but it seems to me that you're more of an engine guy. Would that be accurate? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
I really loved I loved the engine work. I really did. And most of my experience, not just as a fireman, but was from being on an engine. 6-engine, I spent almost 8 years at 6-engine, and we were doing a lot of work, and so I learned a lot. And
Yeah, you
it
learn a lot
it
like
wasn't
that.
easy being a young sergeant. I spent 29 of my 34 years as an officer, and that's not easy. When you got, your subordinates have got twice the time you got,
Yeah.
triple the time you got in experience. So you
Yeah,
really have to
getting
be
in front of the cab, you're the officer that's got, you got 3 years on the job, 4 years on the job. This guy's
Yeah,
got
and the
20.
guy driving you's got 25, right?
Yeah. Yep. So then why do you you go to truck 13? Why'd you leave 6-engine then?
Yeah, I don't. It's one thing about DC. They don't like keeping guys in one spot very long. So I had a good run at 8 years. But I guess they wanted me to take a break, I guess, and sent me to 13 truck, which really wasn't much of a break because 13 truck was housed at 10-engine, and 10-engine was like one of the busiest houses in the country for several years. And of course, if you're a busy house with an engine, the truck's going to be pretty busy too. So that was a good assignment. Went to a lot of fires at 13 truck.
And where are they located? How far?
Little place called Trinidad off Florida Avenue in Northeast. We ran a lot of fires and, runs with 6-engine, so we weren't too far.
Right. Now, what kind of trucks do they have? They all rear mount, or you have some tillers, or what do you have there?
Mostly tiller trucks. We kind of went back and forth over the years, but they always go back to the tillers because with the alleys in DC and the short streets,
Right.
it's just much easier to navigate.
No tower ladders at all, or?
Well, truck 3 or tower 3 is a tower ladder, similar to what you guys got.
Right. So it's only one?
Only one. And
One out of
that works
16.
pretty well. That's at 16 engine. First due at the White House.
Oh, I see. But you have 16 ladder companies, so it's only one of them is a tower ladder.
Correct.
So when you were in this last company, you were running in first and second due with 6-engine, so 10 and
10 and 6 ran a lot of boxes together.
Wow. So that must have been a little weird, huh? Being over there running in with the old engine company, that would be a little weird, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Initially.
Again, we're a small city. It's not uncommon to run, with the same companies quite a bit.
Yeah. I could just imagine, like, if I transferred from 290 to 231 or something like that, right? Yeah, right. Exactly. It would be.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just would be
brutal.
It would be brutal. It would be brutal.
Yeah.
But, that was who said that? Mikey Everett said that he was in.
Oh, he went from
33
44 to 33 or vice versa, whatever it is.
And he was like, when I was at 33, I will kill anybody. I'll beat you into your boxes, right?
Yeah.
Until he went to 44, which was the adjoining company, and then he was just like,
now
I'm in 44. I'm beating 33 to every box that they can go to, whatever. So wherever you're at is the best.
Oh, what's this one?
Holy shit.
That's the Treasury Building. That goes back to 6-engine. That was 1996 Treasury Building fire. I wasn't on that fire. Actually, I came into 6-engine that day before this box came out, and it was the tour before I was supposed to report to 6-engine. So I came there with my stuff, wanted to get my locker, get straight. The guys caught this box, and it cleared the house, the engine, and the truck. They were actually getting ready to start dinner, so I went ahead and started their dinner, finished the dinner, and this course went into multiple alarms, and I think the transfer company ended up coming in and eating the dinner, so they lost out on that dinner. But
What was burning here?
it was a roof fire. It was proved to be difficult because like the ceilings on the top floor were like 15-foot ceilings, and there were workmen on the roof, and they started to fire sometime earlier that day. But there was a funny story about this fire. Reggie Newby was Tillerman Truck 4, and Reggie was on the roof on this fire. Reggie was one of them old school guys that never liked using a saw. He always used an axe, and he's up on the roof, axing these holes and opening up, and had to take take a dump real bad. And you're up on the roof of the Treasury building. There's no place to go. You can't come down the ladder. You come down the ladder, there's no place to go. So somebody said, just go behind one of the bulkheads or something, out of the way and take a dump. Well, he tried to hold it. He kept prairie dogging. He's like, man, I can't do this. So he went somewhere up on the roof of the Treasury building, squatted and took a dump, came back, went back to work. Everything's fine.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Could have happened, maybe. I know it got.
Word got out that Reggie took a dump on the top of the Treasury building. And so the next tour, the chief came down, lined everybody up and said, listen, Secret Service, after the fire went up, because it's a crime scene at this point,
DNA.
do their investigation with ATF. They came across a pile of human feces. And they got the crime lab up there, and they took DNA samples. And so they're trying to figure out, was this maybe the guy that set the fire? So we want to do DNA samples from all these guys, like stool samples. And Reggie was worried at that point.
Come on.
He thought the Secret Service was going to come down hard on him. But they let him in on it, and so he was.
That's great, though.
That's amazing.
Get him a little nervous. You don't want to make him over the top.
Yeah.
Just a little. Make him.
He's the only guy I know that ever took a shit on top of Treasury.
Nice. Listen, we're coming down. They're going to do.
You got to go.
Anal finger swab. Everybody's got to bend over. It's like, oh shit!
When you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah, man.
Hey, it's a good thing Coobs didn't work there, because
I'm
not going to say he'd have done it, but he'd have probably done it.
I might have. I'm no stranger to it.
If you're on this job, at some point you've taken a dump somewhere.
Oh yeah, man. Even in your pants, if you got it, it happens. That's great. So now the Treasury building, is that where they actually print the money in the Treasury building, or?
No, the government printing office is where they print the money. The Treasury building, I mean, it's full of artifacts and other things, They burned it down. The British burned it down in 1814, and they rebuilt it again, and it a lot of history to it.
Any of those artifacts make it back to the firehouse?
Nah. He's like, nah.
I'll tell you, pull that up, because that's the third. That lovely lady, who was that? Who had a quote from Lieutenant? Because this is like the third time I've heard this now. The rules are never more important than the mission. Is that in fact your quote, Lieutenant Greg Turnell?
Well, I said it. I can't say that I was the first and only person that ever said that. I'm sure it's been muttered many times in the course of mankind. But no,
Isn't it on a sign somewhere in a firehouse?
Yeah, I think the guys at Rescue Squad 3 have it hanging up in their sitting room. But that's another story.
This is a very philosophical.
When did you first come up? When did you first say that? What was your reasoning for when you first? Do you remember why you were talking about that?
Yeah, that was towards the end of my career. We got to back up. The fire department went to. They changed their operations, some operational changes to 2-block staging, where companies coming in, just the first and second due engines and first due truck would come in. Everybody else, including the rescue squad, would stage. And then if they had a fire, they'd call them up and everybody go to work. Well, you guys know as well as I do, we don't always have something showing, on the fire. And in the fire department, we have a window of opportunity to make a push on a fire and try to get somebody out. And you're playing these games, you're narrowing this window of opportunity, and it becomes more dangerous for us, not only for us, but, for the civilians we're trying to save. So I didn't agree with it. I gave my 2 cents. Nobody wanted to hear about it. And I wasn't the only one. There was chiefs that didn't agree with it. They didn't agree to it to the point where a lot of them, bent the rules. And like in the 3rd Battalion, they would Greg, box alarm, you guys are going in and going to work. And I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. Well, this particular night, this box came out in the middle of the night for a smoking apartment building. And I told my squad wagon driver, Curtis, that this sounds like a fire, so we're going in. We're not going to stage. And he said, no problem, boss. So we get there, and we had nothing showing. 3-story apartment building. Get in the front lobby, and drunks in the front lobby says it's on the 3rd floor. So we get to the 3rd floor, and there's smoke on the 3rd floor. And so I call the chief, tell him what we got. Heavy fortified door. Got people trapped in the hallway. So part of my team takes those guys, those civilians in the hallway, get them to a stairwell to safety. We start working on the door, and this is all before a line gets up there, because we got there pretty quick. So we force the door. We go in, do a search. We find somebody heavily soot laden. They were laying on the floor. We drug them out, got them outside. Engine comes in. We find a fire. We direct them to the fire. They put it out. Everything's great. And I came out, and the chief was a fill-in chief that day. And I told him, I said, this is why we don't 2-block stage. And I didn't say it to be a smartass. I just said it to just reinforce that this policy is dangerous. It's not going to work. And he didn't take it that way. He felt that I was being a smartass and, disregarding an order or the policy. And I was like, no, I wasn't being a smartass. So an exchange of words went back and forth. And I said, Chief, the rules are never more important than the mission. We have a job to do. And I took an oath. The rest of these guys took an oath, and I'm not going to sit by and, not do my job. And that's where that came from.
I like it. Well, what Einstein came up with that rule anyway? The 2-block stage.
Are they still doing that?
They're still doing it.
What?
It was a knee-jerk reaction. We had a lot of accidents on the fire ground. There was a period where we had one fireman was almost killed. Truck was coming in. He was on the back step to lay out. And the guy was looking at the fire, and it was a minute of inattention that sometimes can prove fatal. That's why the fire ground is such a dangerous place. There's a lot of activity. And he hit the back of the wagon and crushed this guy, almost killed him. He never returned back to work. And it was that and another accident. And it was a knee-jerk reaction that they took to try to make the fire ground safer. And it's not a safe job. It's inherently
That's
dangerous.
why somebody's got to grab on the gun. Psst, yo, it's a dangerous job. Shh, don't tell anybody.
And some changes are good in the fire service, but when the said change contradicts the core principles and values of our job, then that's a problem. I mean, these are core principles and traditions that we've worked for, bled for, and sometimes died for. And to change that, I mean, that's why the citizens respect us so much, because we put them first. This new culture is turning around and putting the firemen first, and that's not our job.
No doubt about that.
And that's basically what this does, is putting firemen first. And
Right.
in essence, what it does is making our job more dangerous. Because again, that window of opportunity is narrowed. Fires are burning hotter, they're burning faster. The characteristic of lightweight construction thrown in the mix, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Well, at least we don't have knee-jerk reactions in the FDNY, so we're
No.
Dude.
You beat me to it.
Lieutenant,
that's like somebody
one thing
who's never put their life on the line, talking about other guys saying that they took an oath to protect the people.
You mean like if you came from the West Coast or something like that, like San Francisco or something like that?
Read between the lines on that one. Yeah, guys who've dedicated their whole lives to protecting life and property. But I digress. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Lieutenant, that's the same thing that's going here. Like, you just hit the nail on the head for a battle that we're obviously fighting, still on the job. That we have state instructors here that are saying fires are burning hotter, faster, this, that, and the other, all the things you just said. And they're like, that's why we have to change our tactics. We have to go easier. We have to do this. We have to do that. And I'm just like, no, that's why we got to get there for our citizens. Like, they expect it from us to be there for them when they need us. And, they talk about safety and this, that, and the other. My biggest argument to that is the way to make a fireman or a brother or sister safe is to make sure that they're well trained and ready to do their job when the time comes. A safe fireman is a well trained fireman. That's what I believe, because that's what we're here for. We're here for them. Period. No argument.
Yep. Take an oath. You said it, Lou. We take an oath to protect life and property, right? We got
What's that?
We take an oath to protect life and property. You said it. You know, that's
Absolutely.
what we do.
I mean, it's
nobody's arms are twisted. You know what you're getting into.
People depend on us, and it's. I never subscribed to the customer service initiative, because customers they can't pick and choose. When they call 911, a customer has the time and freedom to pick, the cheapest guy or the better commodity. When people call 911, it's the end of the line for them. They got nobody else to choose. So you have to show up and go to work and help them at the worst moment in their life. So I never subscribed to the customer service, because you don't put your line you don't risk your life for a customer. You don't look at these people as customers. It's just, you have to look at somebody as family, a fellow human being, if you're going to put your life on the line and save them.
Yep. So
I've never bought into the customer service thing.
Yep.
I thought that was ridiculous.
That goes hand in hand with what I say too about firemen might be the most non-racist people you've ever met, because we don't know who's making that call. And when we get in there, we can't tell. It's dark, it's smoky. We can't tell if they're black, white, male, female. We don't know what the fuck they are. We're just going in there to do our job, save somebody's life, right?
Absolutely. And that's why the city, they get so much pushback when they force these diversity, things on guys. It's like, what you've learned in elementary school and kindergarten, that's the way it is. You get on the job. I've never met anybody on the job that I've worked with that would ever say, I'm not going to offer my service. I'm not going to do anything to help this guy because he's white, he's black, he's Mexican, he's a he, she, that just, it's not a factor. It doesn't come into play.
Nope.
Well, he, she, I don't know. We'll have to. No.
Well, come on. No, you're right. Never do it. You never hear that from a fireman. I'm not going. Number one, you wouldn't even know when you're in there anyway, right? You can't see what the fuck he's.
No.
You can't see your hand in front of your face. You don't know
Nobody
what they
cares.
are.
I say
Who cares?
Nobody cares.
That's it. Nobody cares about hockey. I mean, nobody cares.
Tank.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he was laughing. Oh, don't be a palm tree.
Palm tree.
All right, so let's go over to truck 13. We're already at truck 13. You moved to truck 13 already. Hold on a second. So you go from 13, now you hop to 11. You spend 4 good years in 13, and now you go over to truck 11. What happens there?
Well, if you want to go back to truck 13, there was a couple of fires.
Let's do it. What do you got?
There was a fire, like 3 or 4 windows of fire.
Oh, yeah. Pick up that one there, Tank. I remember seeing that one. It scared me a little bit.
That's Montana Avenue. That was I don't know what that used to be, but it was converted to a nightclub. And the good thing about this fire was we were there probably 2 weeks prior doing what we call an informative inspection. We were just snooping around, checking it out. And they had a series of doors in the front. So we knew which doors led to the second floor where this little go-go club was. And there was a night watchman that stayed there. He actually lived on the second floor. And he was actually showing us around. And so we had a pretty good understanding of the building and its layout. Well, fast forward 2 weeks later, 3 o'clock in the morning, this is what we see, and we roll up. Not all the fire. I think there was fire one coming out 2 of those windows. But so we get there. We know exactly what door to hit. The engine goes to another door. We say, hey, guys, come over here. It's this door. So we get them. We're like Johnny on the spot. We get them into the right door. They advance the line upstairs. They're putting the fire out, or trying to. And I realized, you know what? There's a night watchman that lives in here. So we need to find this guy. So I've got another guy with me. We go to the room where he's living in. We're supposed to be staying in. Again, zero visibility. And I have a thermal imager camera with me. And they weren't that, this was probably 2006. So we didn't have them too long. Relatively small room. I do a search, small enough you can put your hands on everything. And I would just use the camera to scan it. And all of a sudden, the chief comes over the radio, says abandon the building. Air horns start blowing. Well, there's a bathroom, a very small bathroom. So I go in the bathroom real quick, and my partner were there with me, saying, Lou, we got to go. So I said, hold up. I look in the bathroom, very small bathroom. I take the camera, I scan it. I don't see anything, I just see a bathroom. The shower stall, it was a glass, shower stall, stand-up shower. And I hit that, I don't see anything. So we leave, we go outside, start setting up for heavy duty. If you can go back to that picture one more time, is one thing I wanted to show you. See that ladder to that one window? We came outside. There was no fire coming out of that window. Next thing you know, the night watchman comes out that window, and he's hanging on the window ledge. The ladder wasn't there yet. He's hanging on the window ledge. So my guys throw the ladder, we get him down. Well, that's the room we just searched. And I'm like, he gets down off the ladder, and I'm like,
where the hell were you?
Where the hell were you? And he said, I was in the bathroom. And I'm like, I was in the bathroom. I didn't see you in the bathroom. He was in the bathroom covered with towels and had the water running.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The camera hit the window. It didn't pick up a heat signature. I guess it reflected off the shower, the glass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the first thing I wanted to do is punch him in his throat. It pissed me off. And that's what he did. He was in the shower, and the thermal camera didn't pick him up. And he was hiding because he's the one that set the fire.
Oh.
We'll find out. But there's a lesson learned in that. And I tell guys, don't put all your trust in a fancy gadget.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, no doubt.
I learned a lesson on that. And I've shared that lesson with a lot of guys.
There's another lesson there too. Don't turn the water on when the place is burning down around you.
Unless you want to be a steamed lobster. You know what I mean?
How many times people go in the tub, right? It's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It really is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, glass.
That is an old school tip right there. Yep. We got another fire from that from
well, yeah, that's
13. Give us the
when I
other
was
one.
a 13 truck, the old executive office building. We can go back to that real quick. Do you have that
Hit
picture
that
of
one,
the president?
Wanky.
Yeah, let's see. Is it this one?
No,
No, it's not that one.
the
That's
one
a
of
scary one too.
President Bush was in the picture.
Oh yes, stand by.
So the old executive office building sits right next to the White House, and the vice president has an office in there. At least he did. Yep. And Vice President Cheney, that was his office. Well, 13 truck was due. I think we were second due on the second alarm. So we got there. Pretty much the fire was out, but there was a lot of smoke. So there was work for us to do. And my guys put the stick up. We go inside. We go to work. And it was actually Vice President Cheney's office that caught on fire. And you can imagine all the wood lacquer and, the fire load in those offices. So they had a lot to overhaul, a lot of smoke. So we're coming out of the old executive office building. A Secret Service agent comes up to me and says, do you and your guys want to meet the president? I said, hell yeah. So he said, well, be quiet, keep it to yourselves, go to your ladder truck, assemble your guys, and just stand by. And he's on his way over. And I got my guys together. I said, let's stay here at 13 truck, and president's on his way over. Don't say anything to anybody. So we mum's the word. We were quiet. And you could see President Bush and his entourage, Vice President Cheney, coming across the West Wing there to the old executive office building. And I look over, towards the front of the building where the command post is, and all of a sudden, all these white helmets unass the command post, and they're making a beeline right for 13 truck. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I said, these guys are going to steal the attention and go away from my guys. So I told the guys, I said, just stand here at the tailboard and I'll take care of this. Well, I mean, they came in force. I mean, all these white helmets, and they kind of just pushed my guys out. President came over there. My guys are in the back.
I see you peeking in that picture, right? You're peeking through that.
Yeah, well, this was after the incident, but all my guys are back here, and all the white helmets are shaking the president's hand. So I get on the tailboard of 13 truck, and I cup my hands like that, and I say, "Mr. President," and he looks up at me, and I said, "All the Republicans are back here." He started laughing.
Nice.
He made his way through the crowd, and he shook my hand, shook my guys' hands.
Nice.
I got some dirty looks from the Chiefs. I told the guys we got back, I said, "I will be on the next transfer list."
Yeah. It was nice working with you.
Nice.
But they sent this to, I guess, everybody that was there. But I got that, and I got that hanging on my wall. I had to put the little red mark to show where I'm at way in the back.
Oh, I see it there. Yeah. That's funny.
I got my tiller man, Charlie Finnemore, back there with me.
That's great.
So both Kevin and I, we both met
Bush. Yeah.
Bush. I was actually at the UN. Used to have to do when they used to have the UN meetings. Every year they always had details there. You could get overtime and stuff like that. So I did it one time, but I was in the office with the chiefs there. So they had everybody there: Secret Service, the police, FDNY, and I was with a bunch of guys, bunch of chiefs. Pays to know a chief, at the time, and we were in Class A's, and everybody said, President Bush is going to be coming soon because all the diplomats come in through the same way, and same thing. He was walking in, and there were people lined up, and I'll tell you, I give him credit. Again, like you said, to meet a president, I don't care if it's Obama, I don't care who it is, just to meet a president is
I was
a
gonna
pretty
say,
cool
it doesn't
thing.
matter
Right?
what politics.
No, I don't care.
You don't get to meet a president,
Right? And he President Bush was walking in, and he looked over at us. Like there was a line of people through this whole thing, and he looked over and he saw the fire department, and he turned around to his guys and he went like this, like he said something like, "I got to go over there," and he came like on a beeline.
Nice.
And he shook my hand and Nick's hand, and he said, "Thank you guys for what you're doing." Yeah.
He was a personal guy. I mean, he spoke. He was a nice guy.
His wife was nice too. I had dinner with him, his wife, and I don't know, maybe 25 firemen or something like that after 9/11.
Good deal.
And his wife was very personal. I mean, he was cool too, but he's got to work the room a little bit, But his wife was very nice.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, greatest first pitch.
That's right. He threw the greatest first pitch ever, no doubt.
Yeah, he used to own the Texas Rangers. Yep.
9/11.
All right, so now we go to what? Were we 13? Now we're at truck 11. From 08 to 12, another 4 years.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, truck 11 was all the way up north, DC.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of residential areas. Probably then they've since moved, built another firehouse, but consistently they've probably gone to the most consistent amount of fires in DC, only because of that residential population really never changes. It stays the same. So, I mean, it was in a big area. We went to a lot of jobs there too.
Who's the busiest company today?
Today,
outside of the rescue or whatever, the rescue squad.
Probably. These guys will probably speak up. But I know 32 engine in Southeast was pretty busy. 10 engine was still pretty busy. 30 engine. I mean, they're all A lot of medical locals too.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
they're still running like 3, 4, 5,000 runs. These guys are doing.
Yeah, a lot of medical locals, and it's tough, because you get assigned to a paramedic engine company. You get a paramedic engine call, you're out of the
You miss
loop
a
for a
job.
while.
Yeah, you
and
miss
then
a
somebody
job.
else is running your fires.
No
That's,
doubt about that.
You
Same with us.
Which rescue is the busiest out of the three?
know. Fire wise, I'd have to say Squad 3.
Oh,
Squad 1 runs more calls. I
right.
mean, they do a lot of metro stuff and elevators, and we all do elevators, but stay pretty busy.
Which is funny. Well, we have one more stop before that. So you get transferred to special operations, but you go to the fireboats in 2012. So I guess that we talked about that in the pre-show. That was your foot back in the door to special ops, or
Yeah, I got over there, and then from there, I just went over to Squad 3, and a spot opened up. The fireboat was a neat experience. That was another, almost like a different fire department.
Oh yeah.
oh my god, it really is, right?
Some guys go there to take a break, but I can tell you, the fireboat, you can be as busy as you want to be, because you're dealing with so many different agencies. You're dealing with the harbor
PD.
patrol. You're dealing with Secret Service, Coast Guard, FBI. I mean, it's the airport, Reagan National Airport. It's a busy spot.
How many boats do they have?
Well, they got the John Glenn. That's a 72-foot tug that we actually got from you guys in early
wow.
70s, I think. The John Glenn was built in 62. You guys used it as a fireboat, and then we bought it from you. And it's still in operation today.
Wow.
That's
So how many total?
They got a couple of smaller boats. I'd say they probably got about four boats now.
Yeah, that is like a different fire department. I think Gonzo said we're going to get a guy on from the Marine Company in the FDNY. That'd be a different look to see what that's all about. But that was your foot in the door. You're only there for about a year, right? And then you went to Rescue 3 as a lieutenant, right? You're a lieutenant now. So give us you got any stories about Rescue 3? You did your last 7 years there before you retired.
You must have know all those guys when you went there by that time, right? I mean,
yeah, I knew several of them. Again, they were young guys, but motivated, smart, and they had a lot of background. But see, the tricky thing is, I was at Squad 1 in 91. We did things a lot different. We didn't have the tools we have today. So coming to Squad 3, these guys had to teach me. I had to learn all the new skill sets, confined space, ropes. I had to learn it all, collapse. And they were my teachers. So I had to learn everything all over. And
they were drilling you.
Exactly. Yep.
I kind of happened to me too when I came back to SOC, because there was so much new stuff.
I was just amazed how much things have changed. But
any remarkable fires that you remember from Rescue 3?
Yeah, there was probably one of my last fires. I had a fire. It was a basement. It's like a sub-level apartment building fire. And it was not a big fire, but I was proud of my guys. I had a young guy, Kenny Hyde, was on my team. We have Team A, Team B. Team A goes to fire floor, Team B goes above. I always chose, as an officer with the squad, I always chose to go to the fire floor, because if things got bad or were getting out of hand, I'd know it, and I could let my guys above know, hey, find a window, or it's time to get out. But I felt I had a better eye on the situation by being on the fire floor. So we had it was this particular day, a lot of the engine companies were out on medical locals, so we were all first one there, and it came out for somebody trapped in the basement. We had fire showing from a rear window apartment, a lot of bars on the windows, and we got down in the basement and saw a wheelchair in the hallway. So I was convinced we had somebody in this basement apartment. We go in, and free burning fire. It burnt the door off the room that was on fire, and it was coming down into the rest of the apartment. There's a few rooms. We're trying to search these rooms and find them real quick, and can't find anybody. Well, my young guy, Kenny, had the wherewithal and the sense to take a door off the
I was going to
hinges
say, take a door off and block it.
and blocked it. And because someone didn't bring the can that day. I don't know why I didn't bring the can, but the can wasn't brought. But he took the door off, put the door up, and slowed the fire down for enough time for the engine to get down there and put the fire out. But that was a memorable fire I had with them, and very, very quick thinking and smart kid. And again, he didn't. He probably got about 10 years, 12 years on the job, and but I tell you, it was. They made my job easy because they were smart, they were motivated, and they loved the job like I loved it. And it just makes it a pleasure to come to work when you're working with guys like that.
I used to call it Disney World because it's like you're really just along for the ride. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You let the guys do what they do. Yeah. I had the same conversation with a DevGru guy. He was a commander in the SEAL teams, and he was a leader of one of the teams. And he's like, my guys knew what to do, and I got all the accolades, but they did the work. I just let them do the work. I'm like, I told him, I said, it's the same thing with me. Yeah. I just let the guys go to work. It's sometimes a challenge when you got hard chargers. You got to know when to pull the reins in, when to let it out.
Tighten the bolts up a little bit.
I'd much rather have it that way than.
Yeah.
Roof.
No, I was going to say, as you get more time on the job too, right? As you get longer in your career, your mind changes too, right? Now you're thinking, where you used to be the first guy all the way down, and now your guys are there, and you're like, oh, take it easy. Let's use the reach of the stream here. Let's hold on here. Watch this, watch that. You're watching out for everybody now because you just get older and you get.
You're like the mother hen.
Yeah, the mother hen. That's it.
Are the rescues quartered by themselves, or are they with somebody else?
No, they're with somebody else. Squad 3 was quartered with 15 engine in Southeast. Squad 1 was with 2 engine, and Squad 2 was with 24 engine.
All right.
Tank, we got any pictures from? I was just going to say, let's see, my boy, you got it.
Yeah, that was actually my first day back from breaking my foot. I was rappelling at the school, doing some training, and I did a somersault or something, and I ended up breaking my foot. Well, that was my first day back, and we went to a fire, and then right after that picture was taken, they put us on another box, which was another fire, which was we were out on that for a couple hours, and I tell you, that was a hard first day back from breaking my foot.
Those guys do look young, man. Holy crap.
They are. Curtis, my squad wagon driver, all the way to the left. Great guy, smart, one of the smartest guys. Knows every tool, technical guy. Kenny Hyde, Jason Tarbell to my left there. Another good guy, hard charger, and Mike Gimmel on the end, the senior guy.
Still there? They're still in 3?
I'm proud to say that all 3 of those guys are getting promoted. And
wow.
Mike Gimmel on the end is he's got a few more years left. I think he's going to ride it out at Squad 3. But they're all getting promoted, which I'm proud of.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This was the fire that night where they quoted me as saying the rules are never more important than the mission.
It's a nice looking rig too, man. Full size box. What do you got? Full size toolbox there. It's a Pierce
box.
I said box.
Yeah.
And the other squad, Rescue 3.
What was that picture with the fire tank? That one.
Yeah, I think that was my first fire when I got to Squad 3. That was just mom and pop, grocery store.
Window bars. Nice. Yeah. Yes, Dave Toes. I am old.
That's
young.
That's my buddy Ben. Ben's got more time than I did. He had been hanging around firehouses for like 35 years since he was a kid. And his MO was he liked taping the siren, the federal cue, and the air horn when you left quarters. He had a little boom box with a recorder on it, and he'd put it on his shoulder. And when you got to run, he'd say, crank it up, and he'd run alongside the fire truck, taping it. So he had a collection of tapes.
Wow.
Well, going back to 6 Engine, he was at 6 Engine one day, and Randy Lance was driving, and we got a box over 10 engines area, and Ben was there, and he had his boom box, and he's fired up, Lieutenant, fired up, and he's running alongside the wagon.
That's awesome.
Going down N Street, and he's just running as fast as he can, and boom, hits a street sign and falls down. Batteries go everywhere. Randy got to laughing so hard he had to stop the wagon. He couldn't go
He
anywhere.
got knocked up.
He was done.
It's almost like you when you slipped and did the Charlie Brown, man.
I did the Charlie
right
Brown.
teeth.
Down goes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier.
But
Yeah,
I
so
thought
they
Ben
keep
killed him,
asking
so
in the
he was
chat
done.
if you worked or responded to the Pentagon.
No, I did not. We were actually 6 Engine did go there, 6 Engine Truck 4, but we were at Anniston, Alabama, sitting down taking a weapons of mass destruction class. The
I
Cobra
took that class. Yeah, I took that class.
Cobra. So we sat down when that happened that morning, and the guy that was going to talk to us, he was some professor, and he was talking to us about the different players in the terrorist community. And they put a pamphlet on our desk, and the picture on the front of the pamphlet was bin Laden. And
Wow.
we're sitting there, we're looking at, we didn't know who bin Laden was. Well, they had a big screen in the front of the class, and they said, we have a situation going on in New York. And they turned the TV on, and we saw the World Trade Center, just the one, smoke coming out of it. And we were chuckling, we were laughing. We thought it was part of the class. We thought it was it was a situational class. So we thought it was graphics, that they did this. We didn't take it seriously. We thought it was a made up thing. And then the second plane hit, and then everybody got quiet. We knew it wasn't
crazy.
It wasn't part of the class. And of course, we're watching it. The class is pretty much done at that point because we're seeing what's going on. Then they showed the Pentagon. Well, at that point, we're like, we got to get back home. And Anniston called the governor of Alabama and said, we got these guys from D.C. Some of them are from the hazmat, the special operation. We didn't have special operations yet, but they were part of hazmat. And we need to get them back. So they had a C-130 ready for us. We were going to fly back. And then they canceled all, air traffic. So they put us on a bus. We got a police escort from Alabama all the way back to D.C.
Wow.
And I'll never forget, we come down 66, and it went right by the Pentagon. And it was still smoking, still on fire. And it was just a very solemn moment. And what was gut-wrenching to us was we didn't do anything. We couldn't do anything. We went back to the firehouse and we sat. And that was probably the worst thing, just being able not to do anything. And then, of course, a lot of us wanted to come up to New York and help you guys. And they were like, no, we can't let you go. And, so we had to stay back. Some guys ended up going up there, but they were afraid of another attack.
Sure.
They wanted to keep all the guys close.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Okay, Coops, you think it's about that time?
Oh, I think it might be that time.
Might be that time.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Freddie.
Hold on.
Hope the lieutenant's ready.
Are you ready, Lou?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It's time for the old school tip of the day.
Day.
Go ahead. Hit them, Lieutenant. It's your time to shine, baby.
Well, I got a couple tips for, I guess, 2 of them are for the firehouse. If you're taking a shower and you get a run, take the stairs, don't take the pole. Number 2, if you're in a busy house and you got to take a dump, always have 2 wads of paper, one to wipe, one to stuff. So those are my Firehouse. The other one is young guys on the job. One of my pet peeves were the phones. Guys like they're facing the phones all the time, and it used to irk me. My guys will tell you that, you're sitting at the sitting table and you're looking at your phone. You can be drilling, doing something else, learn the job. But more importantly, you're coming back off runs and you're looking at your phone. I can't tell you back in the day how many fires we ran up on because guys were vigilant and they were looking down alleys, they were looking down cross streets, coming back off runs. Hey, Lou, there's a wisp of smoke coming down there. A lot of times it was an auto or a dumpster, but sometimes it was a row house. So be vigilant. Always look. I mean, your box alarm, your local alarm area, your neighborhood is your battleground. So be vigilant and always look. Look at your buildings. Always be vigilant.
The phone was my pet peeve there too, Lou.
Dude, I love those tips. I love.
And my other one is for officers, real quick, is there's nothing wrong with ambition, but don't let your ambition cloud the way of your principles. Remember where you came from, and remember and humble yourself. Your guys can be your best teacher. So listen to them, especially you come into a new area. And last but not least, prayer. I tell you, I prayed every day coming to work at the same spot. And I prayed to God that He give me the strength, wisdom, and courage to do my job and keep my guys safe. And He came through on that promise. So pray to God.
Dude, he might get the Salty Award right here. I might just give it to him right now, bro. Those might be the best.
Remember, Jesus got more grabs and saves than any of us. So.
Oh yeah. He saved more firemen, that's for shit sure.
That's right.
How many times you go like this? Holy shit, man! I can't even believe you just made it out of there.
Wow! And he just keeps on giving. He keeps spilling them out, bro.
No doubt about that.
Oh, Lou, great job, man! Great job on the tips. Great job on your career.
That's got to be an old school thing because I always had like 3 already set up, right? 3 already set up for the B boop. In case
I used to lay my clothes out all the time, perfectly underwear first, socks. So if I was in the shower, I could put them on in order and get the hell out of there. But take the stairs, love it. Thank you, Lou. Like I said, great career, great storyteller, man. Great job all around. Appreciate you coming on.
I worked with a lot of legends and a lot of legendary companies, and I'm not a legend, but I worked with a lot of them, and I'm just a byproduct of my upbringing because I had some good teachers.
Well, now all your stories will live on forever right on this show. Right, Tank? So that's why they should like, subscribe, and share. How you like that segue?
Right. That's exactly
right. I like that segue, fella.
Perfect.
So go ahead, Tank. Why don't you hit us up unless Roofy's got
Well, I wanted to make sure. Hold on, Tank. Not to, the boss wanted to talk about
Sons of the Flag. Go ahead,
Sons of the Flag is I volunteered for them since 2012. That's how I met John Walters, Mike Dugan, Rob Weedman, Tony Tricarico, Tony Trick, I think you guys call him, retired captain. But when I retired from DC, Birdman asked me to come on board as the national director for the task force. It's been a great fit. Working with task force guys from across the country, most of them are firemen. This line of work that we do, you pull people burned out of a building or automobile accident, they go to the hospital, you never hear from them again. You don't know if they survived, how well they did, in their therapy. With Sons of the Flag, you get to see it from start to finish. We have some great programs, Mission Reconstruct. You see these guys come back with ears, with thumbs, Zach Sutterfield, burn ambassador. He sent us a video after he got a thumb opening his first beer.
Cool.
He can wear sunglasses now. We got a kid that severely burned, Ronald, down in Arkansas. He's playing football now in school. I mean, these are great stories, and Mission Reconstruct helps these guys get back to the best way of life they can get. And 30 years ago, these guys weren't surviving, and now they're surviving and having to battle these scars and this and that. So Sons of the Flag has done a lot of great things, and I'm really fortunate to be able to work for them now and bring people. We want to be that burn survivor advocate for the fire service, because not every fire department has a burn foundation like DC or FDNY. So we want to fill that gap and be that burn survivor advocate for the Firehouse, for the fire service throughout the country.
It's a great cause. We
sonsoftheflag.org.
We see Johnny Walters in Indy all the time, and we text with him often. It's a great, like you said, not only are they surviving, but they're actually thriving now, thanks to you guys. It's great.
Yeah, they do. We do good work, and it's a blessing to see these miraculous changes. It gives them freedom, and that's what we're all about.
I think that's how I got your name originally, was from JW.
Johnny Walters?
Mm-hmm. W.
Yeah. We like to call him Peg Leg. We say that with affection now.
I realized real quick you can't walk close to Johnny Boy when he's walking down the street, because he gets to waving his arm and he'll rack you right in the nuts if you're not careful.
Oh, he's so short. I like this. I could say he's short, bro. That his hand winds up.
Wait a minute. He's like an inch taller than you, he said.
Wait a minute.
That's what he said.
Wait a minute. He's not in Proby school. He was to my right, which means he was shorter than me, bro. So how do you like that?
He might be taller than you now with the peg leg.
He could be. Maybe he put a lift in his leg. I don't know. There was two guys shorter than me. One of them was Johnny Walters, and the other one was Narducci. Two short guys. So I was the third shortest in the class.
Lou, thanks for coming on. Great story, great life, man.
And if guys are interested in the Turk, go to turkrescue.com.
Oh, speaking of that, we actually got some pictures of that.
Throw it up there. I was looking
at
pictures.
Let's go.
W sent me some pictures. It's so cool looking, man. It's great. Look at that thing.
That does look like the kayak thing.
Yeah, you really just slide it in that cradle and go. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Wow, look at that. I usually see the guys dragging it with a hook down the street. Yeah.
That's a minor. They're demonstrating it.
I like it. I like the Turk better than the turd.
Yeah, me too.
That's pretty good. I'm going to put the link in the description. So if you want to check it out. If
you want to get your own Turk, check it out in the description below. All right, so who do we got on Thursday? We got Barone, Mike Barone.
Yes, 84, 82, 84.
Wow.
I think he was at the 23rd Street Fire, FDNY. So
he's an old guy. He's an
old coot. I got to call him tomorrow just to make sure. He probably forgot already.
Tank, who's doing that show on Thursday?
That'll be me.
I'll have some more hillbilly jokes. Excellent.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Hopefully I can find the dueling banjos, and we can
just start pushing buttons till it plays. It's fine.
All right, do your thing, Tank.
All right, fam. If you're watching us here on YouTube, you know the drill. But if you're new to us, hit us up where you find all your favorite podcasts, iTunes podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all the players. We're literally everywhere. That's why we say we are the top #1 Firehouse podcast, bringing the Firehouse kitchen table to you, because we're everywhere. You can't run from us. Everywhere you go, you're going to see Getting Salty. That's that. Now, if you're listening to us, head on over to YouTube, Getting Salty Experience. See us. I promise. We're not that ugly. I mean, don't worry. We all married up, but we're all right looking. You can stand and look at us on the screen for a minute. Besides, you got to get all the jokes. You got to see all the awesome pictures that our guests, like the lieutenant, are giving us in when we're talking about these awesome jobs, these awesome people that these guests work with. You got to be able to see the pictures. So head on over to YouTube for Getting Salty Experience. You already know. You're in the chat with us, live action, the super chat. That's what helps us make it right. If you're watching it after the fact, hit us up with the super thanks. And I think there's another new thing that you can do after the fact, but we don't have a banner for that yet. And I can't remember exactly. So by Thursday night, we'll have that figured out. But the super thanks, if you're coming in after it's live, hit us up with the super thanks. And also the free things you can do: like, subscribe, share the videos, and comment. Comments, we love them.
I love
you love
comments.
Me, you hate me, you love Coobs, you hate Coobs, you want to make fun of how short Coobs is, you want to make fun of loose curtains, comments. That's how you make it happen. If you're not hearing it live and you're coming back after the fact, throw in a little comment. We got broad, wide shoulders. We are able to handle it. But those are free. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the button. We ain't done that in a minute. Hit the button. Do that to it. Like I said, it is free and it is that easy. Also, hit us up on Instagram, man. Lou, our Lou, is in there early every day, dropping absolute dimes for us. We don't deserve what he's doing for us, but man, we're sure glad he's doing it for us. Over on Instagram at Salty Dog Inc. Some great old school, new school, this school, that school. They're just great posts, curating the greatest stuff. Hey, while it's still here, while it's still holding on, find us on TikTok at Getting Salty Experience. I might know a guy that's doing a little bit over there with the Getting Salty TikTok page. He's doing all right, I guess. Doing it all right. Posting some decent videos, showing us some good stuff. It's cool. We know another guy. Put us on LinkedIn. He said, hey, you know what we got to do? We got to make a LinkedIn page because that's how you network.
That's McBob.
McBob set us up on LinkedIn. So if you do the LinkedIn thing, if you're not on Facebook, you're not on Instagram, you're not hip with all the young folk and all these other things, find us on LinkedIn. They said it's a little bit more professional. That's why we got the professional McBob taking care of that for us, man. He's over there making us look right and doing it. Thankful for him. Like we said at the beginning of the show, the OG GettinSaltyApparel.com. That's where it started. It's always going to come right back to, you know what we got. We got shirts, we got hats, we got wallets, we got cups. You can even get your name on a cup if you want to. If you got somebody that loves you enough to put your name on it for you, you know what it is. Go back to the beginning of the episode, listen to the promotion that Bob done for us. You know what it is. That's GettinSaltyApparel.com. Also, Getting Salty fans page on Facebook. We didn't start it. We're all a part of it now. Where you can go, you can learn. You can see great pictures from across the country, across the world. There's a little bit of everybody in there. It's where the family really comes together beyond the chat. We do live chat every time we have a show. It's such a blessing, and it's really awesome place to come together. But the Getting Salty's fan page on Facebook is where we extend that. Making posts, sharing things. If we're not going to have a show, that's where you'll know. If we're going to have a show, who the guest is, what the occasion is, that's where you're going to figure it out, because we're going to share it to the Getting Salty Facebook page and we're going to share it to the fan page. So hit both of them up, do that. If you have a product that you think is really cool, or you have something that you want to show on Getting Salty, gettingsaltyads@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll get you the info and we'll help you make it happen. If you want to make it happen, we'll make it happen. If you got questions, all those things, we know Lou loves them. We know he loves to sift through them. We want to talk about leather helmets. We want to talk about this. We want to talk about that. Send those emails to the Getting Salty Experience at gmail.com. Getting Salty Experience, gmail.com for all your questions, for Q&As, stuff like that. If you got awesome videos, awesome pictures, cool tattoos, kitchen tables, hot old ladies, those go to Coop's
Hillbilly
Podcast.
jokes. Send me new hillbilly jokes.
You got hillbilly jokes for your boy, Coop's Podcast at gmail.com. That's where those go. And that, folks, I believe, is all the news that is fit to print for this episode tonight. It was a blast.
Thank you. Roofy, we're over 125 episodes already. Can you believe that?
I saw
Holy
that.
Crap. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Lou, once again, thank you so much. Great career, great stories. Some guys can tell stories, some guys can't. You can tell stories. And you lived it. You walked the walk. So that's it. We'll see you on Thursday. Good luck to the Rangers, my friend, even though nobody cares about hockey.
Nobody cares about hockey, Boomer.
Nope. Until then, I'll see you Thursday. Stay low and go.
All right, Lou. Thank you very much. We'll see you at the big one, everybody.
All right, Lou. Remember, don't go out. We'll say bye to you in the back room. Everybody will love you. We'll see you on the 5th floor.